Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood, one sculpt at a time. Today we're going to be hitting the streets, Sesame Street that is. We're going to be sculpting one of my favorite childhood characters, Count Von Count. First we're going to start off with a big ball of clay that I massage vigorously until I get a ball that's the exact same size and shape. As for the eyes, I went ahead and took a pre-baked ball, slicing that in half, pressing them into the face until they're nice and snug. Now that we got Count's face balls firmly fastened to his face, we could go ahead and start lidding those bad boys up. For this, I sliced out a few pieces of flattened out clay that I applied to the bottom part of the eye. Using my fingers and the back end of my knife, I went ahead and blended those ends before repeating the process to make the upper lids. And after a quick vigorous rub down, we could go ahead and start on his big ol' schnoz. This thing is huge. He definitely could smell sound with this bad boy. We love a character with a big nose. What character do you guys think has the biggest nose in scale to his face? I always think of the dad from the Thornberries. That dude's got a honker for sure. Anyway, now that I'm done finagling with that little chunk of clay till I got something that looks somewhat nose shape, we can start working on his eyebrow ridge, which I made up of just rolling out a piece of clay, applying that to the forehead, smoothing it out with my fingers and a ball stylus. And then we can start adding some of those eye and facial details, starting with the nostrils, moving on to his eye bags, which I just used a soft silicone sculpting tool with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to help blend it in. Then we can move on to his eyebrows, making them more menacing, I suppose, like a vampire. Happy with the eyes and nose, we could start on his mouth. I went ahead and just roughly drew out a shape using the back end of my X-Acto knife. Once I was happy with that shape, we could go ahead and start slicing out big chunks, and then using a ball stylus to smooth it all out. Poor guy was having a case of micronathia, so we're gonna have to bulk up that lower section of his face. Taking a small piece of clay, I just crammed it on the bottom, smooth it out, and we're good to go. Rolled out a nice thin piece of tapeworm, applying that to the lower section of the mouth to make his lower lip, and we can move on to his tongue. I took a small piece of clay that I formed into a little arrowhead shape before drawing a line down the center to give it some tongue texture. Then I crammed it to the back of the throat and smoothed it in with the ball stylus. I went ahead and pre-baked some teeth off camera. That would make it a little bit easier when inserting them. Then I started to reintroduce some of that texture back to the face. For his hair, normally I like to do actual hair, but I felt like it might be a little too difficult because he's got that G-Eazy black on black hair slick back look. It might be a little hard to get that hair nice and flat like I was expecting, so we're just gonna be making most of it out of clay. I do make his beard out of real hair, but that's not until a little bit later in the video, so we'll move on for now. As for his hair, all I did was I took a flattened out piece of clay, laying that onto the top of his head. Then I just go around making sure that everything's form-fitting, cutting it just to match the flow of his head before starting on his ears, which I just start off with a square piece of clay that I form and mold and fold until I get these rough ear shapes before cramming them onto the sides of his face. And now begins the grueling process of me drawing in all those tiny little hairs. While I'm doing this, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button if you guys are enjoying the video so far, and also leave a comment down below of who you guys would like me to sculpt next. I do have some pretty exciting ones that I'm working on currently, and excited to share those with you guys, so stay tuned. But let me know who you want to see. Using a ball stylus, I go ahead and give it some inner ear texture, and to finish off the look, we're just going to go ahead and give it a rub down with some isopropyl alcohol, and then put it in the oven for its first bake. And with the Count's head back and baked, we can go ahead and start adding those facial details, starting with his eyebrows and beard. As for Count's eyebrows, I rolled out a thin piece of tapeworm, then struggled for 20 minutes just to get the proper shape before applying it to his face. Then mirroring the same thing on the other side, then using the back end of my X-Acto knife, I go ahead and start adding all those tiny little hairs. Gotta love it. And like I did say before, I do add real hair to his chin, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do that at the beginning of the sculpt, so I went ahead and actually just sculpted it at first, but it actually kind of worked in my favor and giving me a little bit of a base to apply the hair to. But with the sculpting process done, we could start on that classic vampire collar. Starting off, I stick a dank nug of clay to the bottom of his face, cramming that on in there just to give it a little bit of a base. Then I made this pre-cutout of the collar that I applied to the back of the head, folding it over the front, then pinching off the excess. Once I was happy with how that turned out, I went ahead and stuck this janky ass armature into the bottom of his head just to give it a little bit more structure and make it a little bit lighter. After getting that thing locked in, we could go ahead and wrap this bad boy in a blanket of clay. Use my fingers just to smooth out those edges real quick before cutting off the excess clay on the bottom. I then took the back end of a paintbrush to smooth it out because I refused to use any of my sculpting tools. Off camera, I went ahead and cut out a couple of triangles. These are going to make up the lapels of his jacket. Line those to the front of his chest, and then I used my X-Acto knife to cut out a couple more triangles and just do some more refining, detailing. I then used a silicone sculpting tool just to refine the bottom of the jacket before taking a piece of skin flap, applying that to the bottom, then cutting out the exact shape. I just wanted to make it a little bit more three-dimensional, so we're going to kind of flare out the bottom of the jacket. I use my thumb to blend in the clay, and then I repeat the same process for the other side. And while I'm working on that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos so far. If you guys are and you don't mind hitting that like button, that would help the channel out a lot. And also leave a comment down below letting me know who you guys would like me to sculpt next. Now that we got the other side mirrored, we could go ahead and start adding those wrinkles. I just took the back end of my knife, rolling it back and forth till I get these ridges that somewhat look like wrinkles, before adding 2 little small pinches of clay to the front, then mashing those in to make the button. After a clean wipe down with some isopropyl alcohol, we could stick it in the oven for another bake. And once he's back and baked, I went ahead and looked at his face and I noticed a few hairline fractures going through his cheeks there, but it should be alright. I just got to be a little bit mindful going on in the future here. As for building up the Count's britches, I just went ahead and rolled out a log of clay before sticking onto the little pipe sticking out. Then I sliced down the center line, then using a few different variety of sculpting tools, I go ahead and refine that center crease and add some little crotch wrinkles. Now to achieve the pleated portion of his pants, we're going to go ahead and roll out a nice thin piece of tapeworm and apply that to the front section of the pants. And using the back end of my X-Acto knife, we're going to go ahead and smooth that in to get that classic pleated fold. I was liking how this was looking so far, but I decided I wanted to add a little cuff on the bottom of the pants. For this, I just flattened out a piece of clay, cutting it to the right size, applying it to the bottom, then using the back end of my X-Acto knife and some different sculpting tools, I went ahead and drew in some wrinkles to give it some more detail. Now I forgot to hit record and I made one of the shoes off camera, but good thing there's 2. For this, all I did was take a ball of clay, slicing it in half, then I refined the shape to a little point, slicing the back end off to give it a more true fit. Then I take the excess bits of clay, apply that to the back, and after a little bit of blending and refining, we can start adding his shoe spats. These are the little white flaps that cover his dress shoes. I had originally planned on adding little flaps of clay over top of the shoe, but I thought this would be a little bit easier, and I was right. All I did for this was go around the front portion of the shoe, drawing in the rough shape of where these little spats are going to be before going back around, pushing them up a little bit to give it more of a ridge, separating the shoe from the spats. Up next, we got his arms. For this, I just rolled out a nice thick tube of clay, slicing off the back end, then applying it to the shoulder. After a quick blend in, go ahead and do the other side, repeating the same exact process. Take a silicone sculpting tool dipped in some isopropyl alcohol to add some wrinkles. The alcohol just helps the silicone sculpting tool slide across the surface of the clay, making it a much more natural looking wrinkle. I then go around adding little details to the ends of the sleeves and adding some buttons. I do stick these little pieces of wire into it, and this is going to make it a little bit easier for the hands to stick to. As for thus hands, I'm going to be doing my tried and true hand method, where I take 2 balls of clay, flatten them out, cut the ends off, making sure that I save at least 1 piece from each side to use as a thumb. Now, because Mr. Count was a puppet, he only has 3 fingers on each side, and we're going to kind of stay true to that. Of course, we're going to make them a little bit more detailed, but you'll see. After I cut those 3 fingers out, I went ahead and just shaped them to little sausages before taking down a little excess bit of clay, then applying it to the side of the hand, blending it in to make the thumb. Once I was happy with the basic shape of his meaty paws, we could go ahead and stick that onto the end of the wrist and then start adding in those little hand details. I went ahead and gave him claws because I feel like vampires just have some nasty fingers. I don't know where I'm getting that from, but that's how I feel. And with his hands done, we just need to go ahead and finish up his cape. For this, I just flattened out a large piece of clay, stick it on the back. Once I got into the position that I was happy with, I went ahead and cut off all the excess bits of clay, blending that into the rest of the hood. And with that, and my fingers crossed, we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven for its final bake. And he survived. Oh, good. Honestly, I was pretty nervous that his cape was going to just crumble off, but it didn't. So we're good to go. As I was pointing out there, I just added a couple of little pieces to the back of this shoe just to help him stand up a little bit better. And honestly, we're just going to be pretty much speed running this paint job for the most part, at least for the beginning base coat. I like to put down a base coat of what the initial color is going to be, and then from there we go ahead and build up on top. So once I got all the black parts black, the white parts white, his green cape green, and his skin that nice putrid, disgusting. No, I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. That pink color that we all know of him. I actually kind of like it. It's very purpley, soft, elegant, royal. Totally just went back on what I said originally. I don't know. Once we got all those base coats finished, we could go ahead and start really bringing this bad boy to life with the washes. I feel like this is probably the best way to actually make your characters look realistic, is to hit the thing with a base coat and then pepper it with a variety of different washes. Going into a little more detail on how I make these washes is I take that initial base coat, then I add a variety of different blues or reds, depending on where I'm going to apply the paint. I then significantly water that paint down and then apply it and then let it sink into all the cracks and recesses of the sculpture. And after I'm happy with how that looks, we then go over top with a much lighter version of the initial color and dry brush that on. This just helps set back all the different colors and kind of blends it all together, giving it a more realistic look. And once I was done with all the shenanigans, I do go back in with a much finer detailed brush to just add, well, details. I thought about just leaving the clothes as they were, but they were just a little too flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over top of it with a dark gray dry brushing just to bring out those details a little bit more. I also do the same thing with this green cape. I kind of just haphazardly dry brush that over the top just to give it a little bit more variety in the color. I didn't want to be basic and just give him a black pupil, so I gave him something more reminiscent of the Lost Boys vampires. As for the inside of the cape, I've seen a couple different versions of it, but the one I liked the most had this different polka dotted colored scheme on the inside, so I just literally sat here for 2 hours splotching color in here and there until I got something that looked like this. Now this is the point where I decided, you know what, I am going to add hair to the actual beard. I didn't do it to the top of the head just because I thought it was going to be a little too difficult, but all I did was cut a nice little tuft of my wife's hair off when she was sleeping, don't tell her. And using some fabric tack glue, I applied that to where the beard used to be and then stuck that on top. Then after a quick trim and some final off-camera detailing, we're on to those glamour shots. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below of who you would like to see me sculpt next. I'll see you next time.